Hi, I'm Zeus. I'm here with Derb today. He asked me to show my rig that we built over to the course of last year. I run Olympian Welding. I own it, found it. We basically do heavy equipment repair, on-site fabrications, erections. You pretty much name it. If it's made out of steel, stainless steel, even sometimes aluminum, we'll do it.
All right, Zeus, so how about, show us the truck. Let's take a look at this. This is definitely a beautiful truck.
I appreciate it. I mean, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into it. I mean, we made the grill, so I've always liked the Transformers, so it was Autobots all the way. We called the truck Ironhide. It weighs 7 tons. The first thing we did was put a 27,000-pound winch on the front and welded it to the frame before we put the bumper on, just so if we ever got into a situation where the mud was just too much for the four-wheel drive or the extra wide tires we put on it, we could pull it out. Haven't had that situation yet. I like lights, and the reason for lights is when I started working in asphalt plants about 3-4 years ago, they get up real nice and early, and half the time you're working in the dark, so the more light I can shed on the subject, it's usually better. Like, we've got the ground effects down at the bottom. They light, when it gets dark, they'll light up probably out to where I'm standing right here, so about 3 feet outside of the truck. So if you drop a tool or something rolls under the truck, or you have to fix something under the truck, you've got more than enough light. I mean, we updated everything while we were giving it a paint job, which we ended up going with like a vinyl cover. We got to do a touch up here. She threw a rock the other day. I put 2 welders on it. They both can be detached, but one detaches in like 5 minutes. One would probably take you longer. And the reason for that, if we have to split the truck, meaning I'm on one side of a job and on the other, or I have to leave one somewhere else, that one pops off real quick and we can leave it with whatever. We keep our suitcase and all our rattle guns and leads usually in that one. Then our power tools, hoses, electrical, ropes, you name it, that's stuffed up in there. And then, we've got a propane tank that we carry in the back with the gasoline. My favorite part, the locking reels in the back for Magnum reels. They make life and breakdown so easy. We got a backup camera in the back because I can't, you can barely see around them half the time when you're backing up. And sometimes you put somebody out there and they're not paying attention, you've already hit it. So I kind of have the camera. We put the strobe lights and everything on it, basically when we end up in quarries or asphalt plants, just to, meet the Mensa or Mesha or whatever you want to call it. I don't care, I got the certification, that's all that matters. All the cabinets also have lighting on the inside so you can see your tools in the dark, quick, easy. Have the compressor for when we want to run the plasma cutter or do arc gouging or anything like that. 2 reels, that way you can always be running a rattle gun and whatever else you're having to do, or when Field Fine Furniture and I go out and do a tag team on a bucket or something, she's got her rattle gun, I've got mine. Then you've got the tanks. I like this part because I mentioned I had a propane tank in the back. Well, we got that gauge in that thing that has all the cords and stuff in there. So we just disconnect like that real quick, and the gauge will pop right into the quick connect, and suddenly I got propane access to do real high heating and all that type of stuff. So I mean, from where Olympian welding started, which I was telling you earlier was a Chevy 1500 with a bunch of crap on a trailer, hour and a half freaking break up and break down and all that stuff. This thing took it down to half an hour to 15 minutes, depending on the job.
Nice.
And that's the whole purpose of Ironhide. We like to pop in, do our job, and get out of everybody's way, because a lot of time when we're on site, we demand the site because of what's going on. Some people can't work around us, so that's why we like to be in and out quick. And of course, the water tank that's been with me for like 5 years.
Well, you gotta have it. I mean, it gets 110 degrees, and the humidity here in North Carolina is like nothing anywhere else.
Oh heck, when you end up in that asphalt plant and you're, gouging and scarfing all day on a bucket or something, the thing is radiating like 200 degrees on you at least.
Yeah, and
yeah,
you got
drink that thing like it's nothing.
You get your face like right here to it. You can feel it just bleeding through your helmet to your face.
Some people ask me why I decided to actually put my reel on the inside. It was a safety factor. When I was 13 years old, my father ran a quarry up in Pittsburgh, and man that used to actually show me, stupid little stuff. I didn't know what he was showing me at the time, but he was the welder for the place. And how he ended up dying was he had a cabinet just like this, but his reel was on the outside and there was a leak on the inside, and he struck. He had just packed up from doing one thing, and he was inside the mine, and he lit his torch, and he was standing right behind it, blew the damn door off and squashed him against the wall.
Ooh.
So now, the reason I put the reel in, for you to use it, you vent the cabinet in case there is a leak. I always am pretty anal about it, but it's just a safety factor that my father made me promise I was going to take into consideration.
Yeah.
The other cool thing we did over on the other side is people see my reels over here, and they're like, well, how do they hook up? Well, there's a little door right here that you open, and suddenly you've got the leads in there. That way you usually keep the leads pretty clean and stuff, and they don't get dry rotted by the sun.
Nice.
So that's why we did that one. And we actually put expanded and a recessed floor in there, so if water got in there, it just dumps out a vent that we put over the wheel well.
Nice. Let me get down from here and not fall. Well, tell us about these reels here, because they look awesome.
Oh, they're great. They run so smooth. They really don't take any maintenance. They do have greasing. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Now try pulling her back in. Go ahead. See how smooth that is?
I got it all messed up.
I usually keep my leg right here.
Right,
Now go ahead. Smooth as button.
Ah, that's nice.
Oh yeah. Yeah, 100 foot of lead, and you've got it. And it just locks into place.
Metal locking pins.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the guy who machined this stuff, he does great work. I can't complain about it. I'll be honest with you, they're not cheap. I think I spent, with the locking covers on it, because those are an extra, I want to say that I spent around $2,100 for the pair.
But they look like they're well worth it for sure.
Oh, they're great. They've been running on this rig for at least a year.
Yeah.
And haven't had one problem out of them.
And the ability to secure your leads, that's got to give you lots of peace of mind.
Oh yeah, I can actually eat a burger in peace.
You don't have to do what I've had to do for the longest time, park the truck somewhere where you can see it. So you see somebody mess with your truck, you run out there and throw your lunch at them.
We were down in Briar Creek actually, one of the first weeks Ironhide was out, and we came walking outside, and we had seen where people had been on the handles trying to open it up, but we always leave it locked. But
even in the best of places, if you're not from around here, Briar Creek is pretty nice.
Well, it's on the edge of Durham, Bob.
Yeah, it is on the edge of Durham, but it's pretty nice.
Oh, it's not bad, yeah. We built the Mellow Mushroom out there, but right now that place is a ghost town too because of this absurdity.
Yeah. For sure. All right. What else do we got?
I mean, that's Ironhide in a nutshell right there. I mean,
Let's take a look at that engine. You know, it's a freaking 7.3. Yeah, I almost forgot about one of the best parts.
We actually upgraded to the biggest Garrett turbo that you can get in it. And we upgraded the lights and the hood so that the lights that you've got under the truck also illuminate the cabin so that if you have an issue at night, you can see. Everything in it, when we got the truck, we replaced everything except for the block. Because the whole point is to be able to show up, do the job, and go home without broken down ridiculousness.
Breaking down, especially, you know, you're going to a job or coming from a job, is about the worst feeling in the world.
Oh yeah, it's embarrassing.
But unfortunately, it happens.
Yeah, it has the ambulance package and all that jazz in it. You know, it's a 7.3. I mean, she never stops.
Oh yeah, they're awesome until you have to replace something, and then.
Well, that's why when I had the money, I did it all at once.
There you go.
I at least want, you know, at least 20,000 miles before I have to worry about a water pump or something.
Yeah, this thing's gonna last a good long time.
Oh yeah.
7.3s are basically invincible. I think the only reason the 7.3 ever goes out is because some bozo forgets to put oil in it or something. Now I'm going to ask, does it even leak oil at all?
No.
Not a little.
Once in a
oil.
while, I'll be honest with you, we lose a little oil. Suddenly it just disappears. And we've ran, you know, lifters, everything to make sure, and it burns it, you know. But when I say my uncle, he owns Sunrock. My grandfather was very insistent when they started the company back up in New York. You made sure you never left oil on a guy's site or anything. And it's just a good way to put the company's first step. And I mean, trust me, as I've gone through my life, I've worked for guys and then see them mumbling because they see oil spots on their site or something. So, you know, so it's transformer themed. Probably hear something in a second. But, you know, when we did it, it's got GPS location, all that jazz. And I'm a big fan of this coming up here in a second.
Remote start.
Yeah. Nice. We can shut it right off, too.
Nice.
And I actually, with that system, I can actually shut the truck off anywhere on the world from what they tell me.
Nice.
So if someone stole it, shut it off and just wait for the location to be acquired.
That's awesome. You can tell this truck is definitely a product of passion for welding.
Oh yeah, we loved making that bed. I mean, it came from scrap from jobs we were doing for low-income housing. And, you know, I mean, there was some plate that we bought some sheet for the backside of the what is it called? The actual flatbed. But other than that, you know, most of it came from scrap.
Nice.
7 tons of scrap.
That is awesome.
But you know, God's been looking out.
Camera rolling for that.
So when, you know, it's late at night, you'll get a big Autobot symbol there. And
Nice.
I think that's the ground effects.
There we go. There's some ground effects right there.
Yeah, you see it gets pretty bright. And you can kind of see the halo happening out here.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. That is good. That's awesome. That's something I'm gonna have to definitely put in my truck.
It was, I want to say $30 for 6 of them on Amazon. And
That's not bad.
They're good.
Amazon. It's the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely
Oh.
the way to go.
The mirrors, the headlights, the grill.
Amazon.